Well, I was just going to, speaking of, I don't know, assholes and people on television, I've also got to ask you this, because you're not only the GQ correspondent, but you're
I'm
up
not.
to date.
No, I'm not.
You're not up to date?
I'm up to date. I have nothing to do with GQ magazine.
Okay, well, you're with the generation of people that are watching the TV that's not real TV. It's streaming stuff, they call it, right?
Yeah, that generation. I'm 44. I'm in the middle of civilization. I believe they're calling that generation right now that watches streaming.
They ought to call it pissing instead of streaming, because that's what these companies, they're just pissing all over you because it don't work. It don't work. You can't just magically send signals through the air. That's ridiculous. You need the cable so you can plug the cable TV into the wall and get the cable. But apparently...
What about antennas? You were against antenna?
Well, no, because that was the way that fucking General David Sarnoff intended television to be.
But that's the same thing. It's over the air.
Well, I'm over it. But now a lot of people may be over the Netflix because they done botched up, didn't they? The big Mike Tyson fight. They've got a bunch. It was right here on the local news here in Louisville, Kentucky, that the people are in uproar over Netflix because it buffered. It just buffered, and there was all kinds of tech. And they may have shown Mike Tyson's unclothed ass. That was on my news also here, the morning news. Did you hear about this?
Well, I watched the event.
Did you see Mike Tyson's naked ass?
Unfortunately, I did not. I think that must have been after the bout, and I was already, as soon as the bout was over, I was gone.
No, he wasn't naked in the ring. No, that would have been the reason why he fucking lost.
No. I think it was after the bout, right? When he was like in his locker room again.
Yeah,
I was already gone by that point.
Locker room, taking his clothes off. Well, they showed people
I had already seen enough of this shit that I didn't want to watch anymore, so I didn't see that, no.
But the point I'm making is that there's a tenuous connection at best to wrestling, and that Mike Tyson has made wrestling-related appearances, obviously one major one in particular, at WrestleMania, but also that the dipshit Paul, what's his, Otis Paul, what is his, Billy Paul?
Jake Paul?
Jake Paul. I couldn't remember what Logan Paul's brother's name was, but he has the connection to Logan Paul, who has the connection to wrestling. But the big connection to wrestling is how the fuck, if Netflix can't stream a live fight in November, how are they going to stream live wrestling in January? Riddle me that, Batman. Is there reason for us to worry?
I thought the stream worked pretty good early on. By the time you got to the last two bouts...
otherwise than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you enjoy the play?
Listen, I'm telling you. It was good up until the women's bout, which was a real barn burner. But there were points where all of a sudden I had no audio. And then all of a sudden the stream just stopped. And then I pulled it up on my computer and my TV. And when one stream would stop, I'd start the other one up again and go back and forth. But it was a problem. However, I don't think Raw's going to have the same problem they had, where they had 60 million households worldwide tune in for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I believe it's worldwide. Yeah, worldwide.
Well, that would be a wide, wonderful world, but what difference does it make if they're sending a signal out?
See, man, of people trying to access it.
Well, wouldn't they? Well, I guess, yeah, that's true. Hotchkiss Featherbottom taught me something about that. I guess you're right.
It says here, I have the Netflix official printout from their PR team. A record-breaking night for Netflix. 60 million households watched the Paul versus Tyson main event live around the world, peaking at 65 million concurrent streams. Nearly 50 million households globally tuned in live for the co-main event of Serrano versus Taylor 2. That was the women's boxing bout. Additionally, the bout is likely to be the most watched professional women's sporting event in U.S. history. So, it may have been a shit show as an overall event. You didn't see any of it? You didn't watch any of it?
No, I was watching Svengoolie. Are you out of your mind on a Saturday night?
It was Friday. It was Friday. It was against SmackDown.
Oh, well, then I wouldn't have known that it was on anyway.
Oh.
Because I didn't give a shit. I could not give two shits whether Mike Tyson drops dead or turns blue right now, nor about Logan Paul's brother, to be quite honest with you.
I think it was a work.
I'm a busy man.
I think it was a work.
Well, what makes you, now that you've thrown that accusation out there, what gives you that impression?
Again, it was, I forget exactly. I think it was 8 rounds, 2 minutes a round. Heavier gloves than usual because of Mike Tyson's age. It looked like early on Tyson stopped himself and all of a sudden was fighting a different fight. And then he started just biting his glove a lot.
What?
Almost like he was stopping himself from doing something. But there are rumors that, because Jake
biting
Paul,
his glove? Are you sure? What did he, was it painted like the other guy's ear?
Jake Paul got $40 million. Tyson got $20 million.
Oh, Jesus.
And the rumor is Tyson wouldn't have got that money if he had just knocked Jake Paul out. It was $20 million based on the idea, I think, from what the rumor is, of getting to the finish and having it go to a decision.
So wait a minute now. I would like to have somebody.
And watching this bout, I don't know. It felt like a word. I'm not saying Jake Paul can't box, but put him in there with a real boxer with real rounds and everything. I'd like to see that. But I don't know. It felt like a fucking work. It felt like such a work. It felt like a work.
But now, if the rumor and supposition, I would like to see somebody investigate that further. And it was the pay more per round. They're getting paid for time instead of fucking result. That's interesting.
Yeah. And if I'm wrong, someone correct me and tell me what the story is. But there's something going around, like there's different stories going around about people who think it was a work. And it seemed like a work to me. It felt like early UFC freak show kind of thing, but a work. And I liked it. Honestly, I'd rather watch like giants against freaks or, whatever the fuck than like modern UFC. It doesn't do it for me anymore. Just everyone trains the same way in that they cross-train. They train for everything. I like it better when it's like, this guy's big and fat. What the fuck can he do against this guy over here? He seems like he could be a badass, but he's 5'9". What's going to happen? That's the shit I want. So it appealed to me, and then it was like a Floyd Mayweather fight. Nothing happened. It was like two guys just popping around doing nothing.
You want giants versus freaks and people versus women.
I didn't say that. People versus women. That was not. Nope.
When you said, and there was like 3 or 4 people and a woman involved.
But going back to this to get away from your disparaging comments that we'll speak about later.
I'm sorry. I just,
The 60 million households is more than likely more than WWE's going to get. Who knows what for WrestleMania? Hot. But for every week, for Raw, I don't think they would get anywhere near there. Do you?
I can't see how or why.
And WrestleMania is still on Peacock. And WrestleMania is still on Peacock currently, so they've been able to do it there pretty well.
Well, but again, we're not privy to the exact numbers, but is there a goddamn snowball's chance in hell that 60 million people are watching WrestleMania? I mean, even around the world, is that?
Households, it says here. 60 million households.
Okay, well, and most people these days live by themselves. It's more peaceful that way.
Oh my God, the commentating. I don't want to say anything bad about Mauro Ranallo, because I like him and everything, but it was a bit much, it felt like at times. And they paired him up with Roy Jones Jr., the former boxer.
You doesn't got to call him Junior.
Who he ended up arguing with during the main event about the frequency of Mike Tyson biting his gloves in the past. And the third person in the booth? Rosie Perez, the actress.
What?
She's from Brooklyn and she likes boxing. That was really
it.
You grew up in Mike Tyson's neighborhood and you love boxing. You're on the team. That's all it was. It was incredible. It was such a weird
Are they trying to give Mauro Ranallo some kind of mental stress by teaming him up with a Rosie Perez and Roy Jones Jr.?
It was really something. And the best thing was the ring announcer. And his name was Big Mo. I forget what his real name was, but they called him Big Mo. And he was like a classic ring announcer with the big voice. And it didn't sound like one of the people now. It's like almost like, I'm trying to sing without singing, whatever the fuck they're doing. Like, he was like a classic announcer. The problem is he looked like he was like 6'7". So he would tower over all the wrestlers, Big Mo. But I thought he was good. And they had some beautiful women in the ring. This one girl's become famous now for her bosom.
I gotta watch it now.
I said bosom. I didn't say tits like AEW.
All right. Well, just remember, may the breast woman win.
Ah. I wish I had a witty comeback to that, but I don't. But that was it.
Well,
that was
all right.
the big event. And it says something, though. Again, Netflix has been doing a lot of live streaming stuff. They did the Cat Williams comedy event live, the roast of Tom Brady. They've been experimenting with a lot of things. I think they'll be good for Raw. But I think when you have something where you have 60 according to them, 60 million households, that's a lot of people trying to access that feed. I'll bet they're better prepared next time, but I don't think this really is I don't think this is indicative of what they're going to do for Raw.
But, that's a lesson. They had too many mouths to feed.
Rosie Perez on the comedy.
Well, yeah, and thanks for the memories. But anyway, I'll tell you, what's the matter with most of the boxers and the UFC fighters these days? It's not so bad with a lot of the wrestlers, at least the main event, the major league wrestlers, it's not bad. But even with the indie wrestlers, it's bad. But you know what's bad with all of those people I just mentioned?
No, what?
The fucking hair all over their face. They're goddamn hairy. They got hairy cheeks. They got hairy palms. They got hairy eyebrows. They got hairy foreheads. They got the hair all the way down to their turkey necks. They got hair everywhere, except some of them don't have any hair on their head. But they need to remove some of this. Stand out, look clean, be distinctive. Let people see your face. Let people see your expression. Don't look like a cross between Wild Bull Curry in your eyebrows and Pampiro Furpo in your beard, to where we have to fucking spread your face out with a speculum to see what your nose looks like. Did you get a picture of what I just said there, Brian? Can you see that happening right there?
Well, no. Yes to the first part, no to the second part.
Well, anyway, our friends at Harry's, Brian, it's coming up on the holidays.
Indeed it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, and our friends at Harry's are going to get you cleaned up, because we've got some of our audience needs some maintenance. We've gotten some, as a matter of fact, some communications from some of you men's female better halves out there. And they're saying, Jim, Brian, they won't listen to us. Maybe they'll listen to you. Try to sell them the Harry's. We need clean faces. We need good smelling people laying next to us on the couch late at night watching television. And the deodorants and the lotions and the body wash and the hair gel that Harry's offers at harrys.com, well, they're just swell. And they smell like pretty flowers and/or manly scents like sticks and trees and rocks and things.
That's not really it exactly, but
redwood and wildlands and stone.
The right scent for you as a man.
Yes, some people smell like a marsh, and you don't want that. And
that's a marsh man.
Well, it's a marshmallow. And they've got extra strength, high quality, amazing smelling deodorant for only $5 that, again, a number of people have mentioned that some of you guys could use out there. But it's all about the shaving, Brian. The way you're gonna look and feel so fresh because the German engineered blades stay sharp longer. And they'll give you a smooth shave every time, but the weighted razor handle that's ergonomically designed to fit comfortably in your hand will prevent you from slicing your Adam's apple. And because if you slice your Adam's apple and you don't have any peanut butter,
you won't
spread all over it. Oh boy, I tell you,
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't have to worry about any of that.
That's a home remedy.
It's a problem you won't have, ladies and gentlemen.
To these blades, there's a flexible hinge designed to fit the contour of your face. So even if you're a hydroencephaloptic head or a Lolo contendere head, where you're longer or you're taller or you're wider or whatever, why, you'll just be gliding all over your face. No matter how disfigured you are or how repulsive you are to polite society, as far as the misshapen nature of your oblong face,
Man, your phone's doing a lot. I'll tell you, your phone is nonstop today.
Well, I'm popular. It's getting on the holidays. I've got a big Christmas list. But anyway, our friends at Harry's, they're going to, and guess what they've got?
Syphilis.
No, for heaven's sake, they've got a craft set for the holidays. And Harry's holiday craft set features the razor, the beautiful handle, and the 2 extra blades, by the way, the choice of foaming shave gel or shave cream, a travel blade color, and you don't need to gift wrap because it comes in a rich, sleek green gift box that will stand out where people will just see something green and go, what the fuck is that green thing? And you can personalize if you want to make a gift or if you want somebody to have something to identify your corpse with at some point in a lonely, cheap hotel room.
What?
You can personalize, well, if they're going through doing a forensic examination.
Let's plan on dying at home, ladies and gentlemen. Let's think about dying at home with Harry's.
It's a clue if you have your initials engraved on your razor as to who you are and maybe what's happened.
Why wouldn't your wallet be there?
Well, it depends on who left the room after you died, and that would get into your personal picadillos, Brian. I don't think we want to cover that on the air.
So they left with your wallet, but they left your fancy razor?
Well, of course they did, because that was up your ass at the time, and they didn't notice it. Personalized.
Oh, it was one of those kind of parties. I see.
With the available engraving options. And it's a risk-free purchase because Harry's offers a 100% money-back guarantee and or helping you extract the razor from your ass. If you order by December 12th, you will receive your holiday craft set by Christmas. So and for 50% off, by the way, that's what I'm fixing to tell you. If you go to harrys.com, HARRYS, harrys.com/JCE, 50% off the price of the Harry's Holiday Craft Set. That would be a wonderful stocking stuffer, or it's more like a face slicker, because it'll make your face slicker for the man who needs, or possibly the woman. We don't want to be sexist. There can be bearded women. If the woman in your life has a long beard down to her navel or at least sternum area and you want to do something about it, this would be a perfect stocking stuffer for her because her panties are probably stuffed. If she's got that long of a beard, I'd have to think her pubic hair is
all right. Listen, we've gone once again. Once again, we've gone a step too far. We're going to go right back, and we are going to end this by telling the good people one more time where they can get in touch or how they can get from. There's a relationship that can happen with you and Harry's. How can they get there, Jim?
Harrys.com/JCE, 50% off the holiday craft set. Order by December 12th to get it by Christmas and just please people with this. And the foaming shave gel or shave cream that you pick can also be used as a lubricant for marital aids. Thank you.
Once again, Harry's for your face. If you have a beard and mustache, take care of it the right way with Harry's. That's what you should remember. One more time, Jim, what's the very simple form without any opinion or conjecture? What's that promo link that people need to remember?
Yes, it's harrys.com/JCE.
All right, there it is. Thank you, Harry's. We love you.